Now we will talk about removable discontinuity. We have learned that these are the four conditions which will prove that my function is continuous or not. First, left hand limit should exist, right hand limit should also exist. It means limit should exist, and L is equal to R. Fa should also be existing, means Fa should be defined, and if L is equal to R is equal to Fa, then we can say that my function is continuous. Now suppose there is a case where we know that L is equal to R but they are not equal to Fa. Suppose L is equal to R but it is not equal to Fa. Neither L is equal to Fa nor R is equal to Fa, but L is equal to R. This case, definitely we can say the function is not continuous. But if we define Fa, if we change our Fa such that it becomes L or definitely R, then we can say that we have removed the discontinuity factor here, because this was the only factor which makes the function discontinuous. So if we change this Fa, by definition only, if we change the Fa and we make it equal to L and R, then it will become our continuous function. So these kind of functions where L is equal to R but is not equal to Fa are there. This kind of discontinuous function, we can remove the discontinuity by changing the value of Fa. We call it as removable discontinuity. In any other case, we cannot remove the discontinuity, but this is the special case where we can remove the discontinuity by changing the definition of Fa or by changing the value of Fa. We will see it in examples. Okay, let us take this example to understand the removable discontinuity, right? So I have a function fx which is equal to 2x square minus 8 upon x minus 2 when x is not equal to 2 and is equal to 1 when x is equal to 2, right? So if you want to find LHL or RHL, what is my LHL? It is limit x tends to 2 plus, this will give you me limit h tends to 0 f 2 plus h, which is equal to correct. So this way this 2 will get cancelled. It will be like 4 h square plus 4h minus 8 upon h. So in the last step, when we cannot do anything to h, what we will do? We will replace it by 0. So we get the value 8. So my LHL is 8 and my FA is 1. So definitely it is not continuous, but let us check whether RHL is also 8 or not. So in RHL also we have got 8. So LHL is equal to RHL, but it is not equal to my FA. L is equal to R, but it is not equal to FA. So this kind of discontinuity we can remove it by just changing this value to 8. So if we define it in such a way that this is equal to 8 at x is equal to 2, then we can say that now the function has become continuous. So the question can also be asked in a manner that only this part will be given and you will be asked to find the value at x is equal to 2 so that the function is continuous, right? So L is equal to R will be there. So we need to just redefine the FA part, or you need to find the FA so that the function becomes continuous. Okay, let us understand the algebra of continuous function. Suppose we have two functions f and g, two different functions, and they are continuous at x is equal to a. It is already proved or it is given that they are continuous at x is equal to a. So my first property of algebra, you can say, if you add these two functions or subtract these two functions, both of them, or the third function will come, it will be okay. So sum of these two functions which are continuous at x is equal to a is also continuous at x is equal to a. Similarly, the difference of two functions will also be continuous at x is equal to a. If you multiply these two functions, then also you will get a function which is continuous at x is equal to a. If you multiply any constant, suppose b, multiply by f, if you multiply a constant to the function, then also it will be continuous at x is equal to a, right? Multiply constant to f or to g. If you take the reciprocal of a function which is continuous, right, either 1 by f or 1 by g, then this is continuous at x is equal to a, provided my fa should not be equal to 0. Since it is in the denominator, if fa will be 0, then this part will be not defined, so we cannot take this chance. And if fa is not equal to 0, then only we can say that this function is continuous. Which function? 1 by f. F is continuous at x is equal to a. Similarly for g also, 1 by g is continuous provided ga is not equal to 0. Then f upon g divided by g, this is again continuous at x is equal to a, provided now denominator has g, so we can write ga should not be equal to 0. If you take g by f, then fa should not be equal to 0. So whatever in the denominator, it should not be equal to 0. Sixth, composition of a function fog or gof. Fog or gof. If any of these two are defined, we know that we have a value here, then this will be also continuous and x is equal to a. Right? So these are the basic properties, or you can say algebra of continuous functions. Okay, let us understand one more thing, that continuity on an interval. Now, it may happen that a function is discontinuous, like suppose kind of this, or suppose like this. So this function is definitely not continuous, but if we talk about a particular interval, my function is continuous. If we talk about some particular interval, we can say that my function is continuous. So even if the function is not continuous in the entire interval, we can find a particular interval always to make it continuous, or to find the function where it is continuous. So this concept is known as continuity on an interval. Intervals are what? There are different types of intervals. One is called as open interval, where a and b are not included. Closed interval, where a and b are also included. One-sided closed interval, right hand side closed interval, left hand side closed interval. Right? So these are the basic 4 intervals where we can say, we can find the continuity of a function. Okay, let us understand one more thing, that suppose if a function is continuous, then there are 2 cases basically. First one is that the function is continuous in its domain. Function can be continuous in its domain, whatever domain is defined for that function. Okay, it may be possible that it is continuous in that domain. This is the first thing. Second is that it is continuous everywhere. Right? So there are some functions which are continuous in its domain, and there are some functions which are continuous everywhere. Everywhere means real number, minus infinity to infinity. Right? So we need to remember the functions which are continuous everywhere and which are continuous in its domain. Okay, I'll give you some examples here. Okay, so let us take examples. First we will take example of a function which is continuous everywhere. So my first example is constant function. Like fx is equal to c. Whatever you take the value of x, you will always get the value c. This constant function is continuous everywhere. You don't need to prove it, you need to remember it. Second, identity function. Identity function is like fx is equal to x. Correct? So this is also continuous everywhere. Modulus function. Modulus function, which is fx is equal to mod of x. It is also continuous everywhere. Okay. Fourth, polynomial function. Right? We know what is polynomial. So this polynomial function is continuous everywhere. exponential function. It is like fx is equal to e raised to x or a raised to x. This is called as my exponential function. This is also continuous everywhere. Sine and cosine. In trigonometry, only these two functions are continuous everywhere. Right. So these are the examples of functions which are continuous everywhere. Now let us take the examples where the function is continuous in its domain. So we have a rational function. What is the meaning of a rational function? It is kind of two polynomial, suppose px and gx. So the domain of this function is what? That gx should not be equal to 0. Our denominator is not equal to 0. Since we have a restriction here, we have a point where we cannot define our function. It is called as continuous in its domain. So first we need to find the domain of the whole function and then we can call it continuous. Correct? Second, our trigonometric function except sine and cosine. So other trigonometric like tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, they are also continuous but in certain domain. So you need to find the domain first, okay, for these things. Third, your inverse trigonometric function. These are also continuous but in a certain domain. Okay. Fourth, logarithmic function. Right? Log x. Fx is equal to log x. This is also continuous but in particular domain. So whenever a domain is defined for the function, we can call that the function is continuous in its domain. We need to prove it also, but there are some functions which are continuous everywhere, as earlier I have given all the examples.